All right, guys. Sorry, I just got. Which welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. So I will be back to playing all my accounts tomorrow. Um, well, not all of them. All my usual stream accounts, I should say. New post supply came today. It's here next to me. Uh, Heavy post supply. So I'm streaming, and then when I finish streaming, I'm doing the post supply. Why am I streaming first? Because knowing my luck, something will go terribly wrong and it will take me hours. So I thought, let's stream first and then do this. How's Done going today? Too bad, not too bad. You know how it is, getting on with things. I've not been doing much on my computer because of the dodgy power supply that is in there at the moment. But apart from that, not too bad. Mrs. Biffle Chips, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. Oh, guys, I am so tired. But I ordered my funeral outfit just before I started streaming. Okay, thanks. Oh, tired. That's not fun. Not at all. I don't mind it too much though, because I'm still feeling pretty good. So yeah, I've ordered my funeral outfit. I need to go and buy a shirt. Oh, guys, I gotta say, these ADC mids are pretty good. I'm feeling pretty focused, you know? Pretty solid. How is everybody's day going? Mr. Bickle Chips, Twitch, anybody else who's watching in? Is okay working too busy? Well, that's good to hear. That is good to hear. So yeah, the plan is I'm going to stream for however long I stream for, and then head off, let my computer cool down, and then do the post play. You know, Grandma says you can't be here. That's okay. Oh, it's so hot. So we're just in the hall. I'm feeling a bit somber. which is to be expected after, you know. How, oh, gotta click the cocktails. There we go. Oh, I don't know, guys. It's just, it's a part of life, you know, people passing away and stuff. But it doesn't have to get me down, and I'm sure that's very normal, you know. I'm sure that's very normal. It's just like crap, you know. Oh, I don't know. So how is work going with the outage? You said one of your things were affected. Is it like small? Wrong? I'm back in the hole. Let's go. So I was on the work phone briefly. No worries. Work rates on these will be off on TikTok. That's fair. That's fair. So not your problem then. I touch type. Right. So obviously I can touch type. I've spent most of my life on computers, and I do write from time to time as a to make some money. But it blows my mind every time. I was just looking at the game, typing, and I go, "Oh yeah, I can do this." And I don't know why it's so surprising to me every time. I don't know why it's so surprising to me every time, but it just is. I'm just like there's something like amazing about humanity that we can do things like that. It's probably, needed because we had to do a lot of things without paying attention to it as we were evolving and developing into the creatures that we are today. Like weaving and whatever else. I don't know. I'm too tired to completely say what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean, right? Like we needed the ability to do things and be looking at other things. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. From, from a tree. Yeah, it's a bit hard, but it's a global issue. Oh, I don't know, guys. It's been 20 minutes already. That's gone really quick. It's so warm. Uh, I was like, where's my liquid? Right here. And pouring nicotine into the liquid. Which, if you're in America and you vape, you might be like, what the hell are you doing? In Britain, we have by law limitations on the size that you can sell nicotine in. So what we do is we sell a big bottle, not quite filled, and a little bottle of nicotine, and you know add it. And there you go, you got a big bottle of nicotine. It blows my mind that the government has not cracked down on this. There we go. And now we got usable e-liquid. Oh, guys, it's gone down in temperature to 30.9 degrees Celsius. Progress. I know, right? But yes, we got some progress, so that's nice. Honestly, some people are just not very bright. Right, so I put on my clan's Discord server, oh, I've ordered my funeral outfit today and posted a screenshot. And somebody said, what the fuck do you mean? Why are you planning your own funeral? You're so young. I'm like, just face palming at them. Like, obviously, I'm not planning my own funeral right now. And I'm pretty sure if I was dying, I would have like mentioned it at some point in the last month that I've been talking to these people daily. You know? But yeah, my post play is here. It is very heavy. It's much heavier. Here's the box. Much heavier than I was expecting. Um, just bearing in mind, I've not bought a power supply in 8 years. So like, I've not handled just a raw power supply in 8 years. Because like my power supply has never been took out of the case. Everything else in my computer has been upgraded since. Cooler, RAM, motherboard, CPU, GPU, storage, all that's been updated, but the power supply hasn't, because generally power supplies last a lot longer than most systems. But a lightning strike made my power supply very unhappy. So we got a new power supply. Also, I'm almost up issue in the case and prevents anything haven't touched it since, right? Because power supplies they last for so long. And if I had a UPS, the chances are my power supply would still be fine. So it's my own fault. But like, it's just put it in my case, and I'm not upgrading. So I am planning to upgrade my case. That was what the money that got spent on the power supply was meant to be spent on a new case. So I had the money, luckily. And I was like, buying my new case this month, it's going to be great. I'm planning to just get the same case that my server is in, because the case is really good. I love the case. No RGB instead of these terrible RGB fans that I've got. When I, 8 years ago, well, it'd be longer than that now when I built the case, but like 8, 9 years ago when I built this computer first in this case, I was like, yes, RGB, let's go, because like I had a really crappy case before that, and I was like, I finally started working and I had my own money, so I was like, fuck yeah, let's buy a great case. The case was terrible, right? H500p, terrible case in basically every metric. It's far too heavy for the size of it. Its air intakes were all covered with clear plastic, so it could barely breathe. So I've ripped all that plastic off. Um, doesn't help with the weight, obviously. The layout in it is just not great, you know. it's a full-size case, but because of the way they designed it, it's just not. There's some like weird design choices. Um, so for instance, the power supply shroud is like really tall compared to others because it instead of spreading out where you can put hard drives, they're stacked three tall. So the power supply shroud had to be really tall, and it's like right up against the bottom of the motherboard. Um, so obviously I run multi GPU. That means that my second GPU is like sitting just above the top of the power supply shroud. And obviously the power supply shroud has no ventilation in it. So like my second GPU runs hot as shit. It is one nice thing that I like about it, which doesn't matter in the slightest. But like, do you know on the back side of the computer? Yeah, the backside where all the cables get routed and shit on the opposite side of the motherboard. There's like a second door inside the side panel that you close and it hides all the cables. So I take the side panel off and it looks really tidy. That's like the only thing I like about this case. No USB-C on the front of it, which, 8 years ago, 9 years ago wasn't really something you thought about. USB-C on the front of your computer nearly a decade ago was like not a big deal. These days, I would very much like to. I would very much like to have USB-C on the front. Not because I've got many USB-C things now, but like just sorry, grab my charger. Just wrong cable. Just future proofing, because I did buy a new USB drive, as you know, Mrs. Biffle chips, and that I want to be the last USB-A thing I buy. But like, with all the plastic ripped off and stuff, the case is fine, but it's got no dust filter in there, which is a problem. It doesn't look particularly nice now, obviously. And it's just, yeah, it just needs replacing. I'm just older and more wise than I was when I bought this case, So yeah, the USB-C on the front is not like be all and end all. I don't need it, but it'd be nice. It'd be nice for, future proofing reasons. So I'm just looking at it now and I'm like, yeah, it's just time, you know. You have to turn the computer side and yeah, so it did. So it's got dust filtering on the bottom for the PSU, and technically it had dust filtering on the top and the side, on the front. Sorry, the top and the front. But because most of it was covered in clear plastic to show off RGB, and it was like down the sides where the intakes was that were filtered, it was choking the computer, which wasn't a problem 8 years ago because TPDs were not very high. A Ryzen 1700, which is what I had originally in this case, is like 65 watts, and a GTX 1080, which is what was in here before, is like 170 watts. Whereas now my CPU is 145 watts, so more than my old GPU, and my GPU is like 250 watts. So like it wasn't really an issue for the hardware at the time that it was choking the fans because TPDs weren't that high. Now, on the other hand, the amount of power your computer uses if you've got a mid to high end system will double or triple. So I had to rip all the plastic off. And I mean, it still works fine, but the cat keeps attacking the fan, which is kind of funny. He just gets mesmerized by it. He just stirs at the giant, because there are 200mm fans on the front of my case. And he just stirs at it for ages and then attacks it. Also, one of the LEDs is broke in the case. Let me take a picture. You picking that up? And see if that picked it up. Yeah. So I don't know what's gone on, but one of the RGB lights is not matching the others. And I think one of the chips, one of the color channels has died. I sent you a picture with the big chips. One of the chips is dying or died or whatever, I don't know. And they're not addressable RGB. So every light, every LED should be the same color. So that's happened. So it's just time. Not a bad case to choice. Why did So this is the case that my server is in Mrs. Pickle chips, but it's not the tempered glass version, it's the one with the metal side panel. For some reason, even though I clicked the solid side panel one, it sent the tempered glass one. But it's that case is what my server is in, but without the glass. Because I don't care about looking at my computer. Like the glass faces the wall, you know? So that's the case. So that's the case I'll be getting again because it's a great case. I love it. Once again, without tempered glass. You know, it's weird how, like, you know, nearly a decade has passed since I built this, and it's weird how different my, like, my opinions and things are. But before I was like, well, it's a mix, because, like, my old case was, well, what was my case? It was an old Dell Alienware, no, a pre-Dell Alienware case. No glass side panels, no RGB, barely any intakes or anything. It was a dreadful case. I mean, it was good for its time, but when you compare it to modern cases, it was just dreadful in every way. So I thought, I can see my computer, it's amazing, and it lights up and everything. And like, for the first couple of years, I was like, yeah, this is great. And then I just kind of like stopped caring, you know. Partially because I stopped buying components that look good, and I started buying components that perform well and meet my specifications, you know? So like, I think my motherboard has RGB on it. That was just because it was on offer. Um, it has very little RGB, I know that much. I've got an AIO cooler that has no lights in whatsoever, but it has a little fan on it to cool the area around it. My GPU has no RGB. Oh, I love Noctuas. Although I like Noctuas. Oh, what are they called? The grey ones? Are the industrial? But that's what I've got in the server. In my server, it's all Noctua industrials. if that's what they're called. I'm not sure if that's the name. But you know which ones I mean, right? So we got those fans. I'll probably buy the same fans because none of the fans in this, apart from on the AIO, is a I can. That's for me to get the chip transfer. Took me a minute to register what you were saying. But yeah, but that's what I'm thinking about doing. I think it's something to listen to. That'll do. We've uh we've dropped another 0.2 degrees. Every little bit helps, you know. Although I have to say, so the only side effect so far with the new ADHD meds that I haven't noticed is I'm sweating a lot. And it does, like usually this room is anywhere from like 27 to 32 degrees Celsius, so it's well within normal temperature for me. Um, and profuse sweating is one of the side effects of medication. So I'm just having to remember to drink a lot more. But that's the only real side effect I've noticed so far. I am on the introductory dose, not the full dose. So it may change as I take more of it and I take a greater dose. But so far I'm feeling pretty good with it. Apart from sweating. That's the reason I'm not wearing a jacket to the funeral, by the way. I would tell whether you're forget to drinking water. But that's the reason I'm not wearing a jacket to the funeral. And it's also the reason I chose the belt that I chose, because the kilt has no pockets. And traditionally you would wear a Prince Albert jacket, is what we call them. Let me grab a picture for that. Is it Prince Albert? I'm not doubting. No, it's not a Prince Albert. That's a completely different jacket. It's a Prince. Um, this is gonna wind me up now for tracking what it's called. So the jackets you would traditionally wear with a kilt are made out of wool. Um, Traditionally the kilt is made out of dyed wool. I bought a polyester kilt because I cannot afford. A real kilt can be anywhere from like 300 to £500. But those are hand woven wool, hand dyed, hand woven woolen kilts. They weigh a lot. I bought a lightweight polyester kilt. Is it a Prince Charles? Yeah, got a picture. So traditionally, this is what you wear with a kilt. This is called a Prince Charlie jacket, wasn't it? Yeah. And it's actually two jackets. My socks are made out of actual what I bought. But yeah, the jacket is made out of I don't know how to explain it. Do you know Australian hats and they're like made out of and they're heated and cooled and heated and cooled and it causes the hurts that the jacket that the hat's made out of and it causes them to bunch together and turn into like a felt. That's kind of how these jackets are traditionally made. But you actually wear two jackets, right? You wear your under jacket, which is not like a it looks like a waistcoat, but it's not. And then you wear your over jacket. The reason why you traditionally wear this jacket is it's short. You'll notice from the picture, it's short at the front, so you can see the kilt and the sporing. The sporing is the little bag at the front. But because I'm not wearing the jacket, which has internal pockets, it, it, it has no external pockets. But your pockets are on the inside. I've opted to wear a completely wrong type of belt. Usually, the type of belt you wear is about 3 inches tall with a really thick buckle. Um, I'm not wearing that. I'm wearing a light belt with a leather pouch, which is more like Nordic than Celtic. But hey, rules are made to be broken, right? So I get to experience what it's like to be a woman, at least when it comes to pockets. Maybe not all the other issues that come about being a woman, but pockets I can experience. Or I should say, lack of. Sorry, I just gotta read the thing really quick. Alright, sorry, I had to read that. Yeah, lack of pockets annoying. Speaking of which, I wonder if I can modify one of the skirts. Maybe. The thing with kilts as well is they predate the need to carry lots of things, right? Like, think about it. A couple of thousand years ago, what would you be carrying? Your sporran. The sporran's a bag, right? And your sporran would hold your coins and such, and then you would keep. So I have bought a plastic replica because I don't want to break in the law, but you keep a long knife in the back of your, usually right, but if you're left-handed, left sock, because you would use that for fighting and eating. Fun fact. You didn't have a phone to carry, you didn't have medication to carry, you didn't have a wallet to carry, you just dropped some coins in your sport and like. Cutlery apparently. Damn, I've been live nearly an hour, what the hell? That has gone quick. I'm loving this 88 minutes. Oh yes, definitely. I mean, it's the same. It was the same in Scotland, but your eating utensil was the knife you carried in your sock, in your hands, obviously. You know, in in Celtic Britain, forks were not very common. You would have a wooden spoon, maybe, but yeah. I was I was talking to somebody I know online. Oh, when was this? Recently. I don't know exactly when it was. They live in Britain now, but they grew up a lot of the childhood in America. And he was telling me his first day at high school in Britain. He got an apple for lunch. Not just an apple, but the story's about the apple, okay? And he pulls out a penknife and starts, cutting up the apple to eat it. An armed police came to the school because, like, carrying knives in Britain is a no, right? Like, we have very strict laws about carrying knives in Britain. Um, because without guns, knife crime is like a big, we see a lot more knife crime than we see gun crime in Britain because obviously we don't really have easy access to guns. Um, so like, police came to the school and whatnot, and he sat there eating an apple. He's like, "What's wrong?" They're like, "You brought a weapon to school." He's like, and obviously in America, it's not a weapon; it's a tool, right? That's how they see knives. That's how it's brought up. Especially I can't remember what state, one of the southern states. Especially in the state he was brought up in. So he just didn't even think anything of it. And they had to explain to it, they're like, we're not going to charge you with a crime, but we are going to confiscate the knife. And if you do it again, we will charge you with a crime. It's like, maybe you should read up about British laws a little more. But yeah, I just imagine police turning up to school and somebody's got a block knife, you know. Man, everyone on this is tech Discord server am complaining because nothing's working. I'm like, well, yeah, that's Queen. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. It's hotter. It is. It's about 30 degrees in here. 28.9, 29.8. How am I? Hot. I'm feeling pretty good with the new ADHD meds. Give me more, guys. I'm feeling pretty good with the new ADHD meds. No idea what I'm saying. Well, if you spend more time in chat, you get more familiar with my accent. I don't know. You know, as a streamer, I'm meant to convince you guys to come along more frequently, aren't I? How is your day going, Queen? How is your day going? It's well, that's good to hear. Nice, nice. Not too bad. I ordered the clothes for the funeral I've got next month, so they will come over the next week or so, and then I'll try them on. Hopefully, it. I'm not sure about sizing for the waist jacket because it was in large, medium, small instead of measurement. So that's the one that I'm mostly. That is the one I'm mostly worried about, but everything else should be fine. And then I need to go and buy a shirt. I don't buy shirts online. I like to actually try them on. I'll buy a shirt, then see how I'm feeling after I try it all on, see if I think it needs anything else. I have no idea how much longer I'll be streaming because I do need to rip my computer apart today. We do need to install the new PSU. Which is, does anybody have any plans for the weekend? Anything nice, noteworthy, interesting? It's too hot, guys. Dropped a few drinks, but nothing too bad. I might head up and do like I'm just thinking of times. What do I need to do? Yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to end stream here because I want to do my post word before my ADHD meds run out in my system. So, Queen, thank you so much for hanging out. Mrs. Faithful Chips, thank you so much for hanging out. Have a good day, night, morning, afternoon, or evening, whether you're watching this live as a video on YouTube. And hopefully, tomorrow we will be playing